WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Some members of the East Mississippi Community College Board of Trustees says the school is losing money. A budget has been approved for 2020, but getting there was rocky. WCBI's Scott Martin joins us in the studio with more.
Lowndes County supervisors and some EMCC trustees say it boils down to the school's football program, but others close to the program say a lack of state funding is at fault. This bar graph tells quite the story. A financial report released from EMCC President Scott Alsobrooks shows the salary increases for the school's sports programs. Shown in the light blue are the football salaries, the only program exceeding $500,000.
The football coach gets his package for salary and benefits is more than any other community college in the state. Possibly more than any other community college in the country.
Records show Buddy Stevens made $120,000 in 2018. The controversy is half of EMCC's trustees want to cut funds from the football program. The other half doesn't.
Some board members from the south part of the district think that the football program is more important than the education of our students in the university and training people to be able to enter the workforce.
In an effort to fill the gap, the school has pulled money from its general fund. In 2010, that fund held $11 million. In 2018, it dropped significantly, down to $710,000. Oktibbeha County EMCC trustee Rudy Johnson says millions have been cut from other programs.
We've cut over $2 million out of salaries. We've laid off instructors, and we've done all of that stuff to try to cut our budget, but football never got cut.
In the 2020 budget, EMCC President Scott Alsobrooks says the athletic budget has been cut among other programs.
We've had to make some tough cuts. Administration's been cut more heavily than any other area at the school. Athletics has been cut as well.
It's not all related to football. There's multiple areas that that money has been going. There's been some new programs that have been starting up, and they cost money, as well as in preparation for the community. So that's what we're trying to look at right now, is with all of these different activities pulling for funds, where is the best return on that investment for those funds?
EMCC's football program gained national attention after being featured on Netflix's series Last Chance U. It's a program that remains popular among alums and the Scuba campus.
Football is the EMCC is passionate about the football. They have a lot of reason to be with the success.
But Rudy Johnson says that recognition isn't helping generate any revenue or bringing in any students.
You know, our national football championships hadn't brought one student in. If you look at our enrollment has declined since we won our first national championship.
The budget crisis weighs heavy on county supervisors. Lowndes County is just one of 6 counties that invests in EMCC. Johnson says he believes it's time to get back to the school's vision.
We're here to educate, train, and get these kids jobs. That's our mission. That's what we're supposed to do.
Of the 12 Board of Trustees, WCBI has contacted 10, including at least 1 in each county represented. Most of the trustees referred us to spokesperson Kathy Diaz, who said that Dr. Alsobrooks and his staff have worked out the best budget that they can hope for in this year. In the trying times, we're going to do the very best that we can with the money that we have. Andrea, back to you.
All right, Scott, in our studio with that story. We turn our attention now to weather. Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson standing by with a first look at our forecast.
Right now, 6:04, we are looking to the east-northeast from downtown Columbus at WCBI. Notice those clouds on the eastern horizon, and those are actually some showers and thunder showers here in West Alabama. Vernon, you are getting in on the action right now. Also over here in the parts of Fayette County and parts of Pickens County, too. A few other blips down to the southeast of Macon, but few and far between. Back to the west, it's basically sunny. So maybe an isolated shower or thunder shower here over the next hour or so, but for most of us, we are looking at a dry and warm evening, mid-70s there by 11 o'clock. Your full forecast coming up.
There have been 4 shootings in less than 2 weeks in Columbus. Those numbers are prompting action. During today's CPD Overview Committee meeting, Chief Fred Shelton says his department is working to get illegal guns off the street. Our Quentin Smith was at the meeting this morning. He joins us now, where officers now have extra boots on the ground to help ensure safety.
Yeah, that's right, Andrea. In fact, they're already setting up checkpoints and stepping up their patrols in high crime areas. Now, you may remember, it was just a few days ago when we spoke with the mayor, and he says these recent shootings don't reflect what the city is about. Well, the police chief agrees. That's why he's on a mission to put an end to the violence and get the city to live up to its name. At a table filled with police and members of the CPD Overview Committee came several ideas to bring more peace to the community.
Let's put the friendly back in our friendly city, because we are friendly.
Police Chief Fred Shelton says one way to do that is to get illegal guns off the streets.
It's very important. When we start talking about human life, the fact that a stray bullet can hurt someone.
In fact, of the 4 recent shootings, 2 of the victims were hit by a stray bullet, one of them being fatal.
What has to happen is you get the weapons off the street, and then there'll be less shooting.
So to get those weapons off the street, investigators will now increase their presence all throughout town.
There'll be blue lights. It's not an accident. What we're trying to do is stop people if they're in possession of a weapon and they're not legally required, i.e. they're a convicted felon or they're under the age of 21, we will be arresting them and seizing that weapon.
The department is also relying on the public to help them as well. Shelton is asking the community to alert CPD if they see or know of anyone with an illegal firearm.
Responsible gun owners can help us too by taking and securing their weapon. We've had auto burglaries where people have left weapons in the car, mainly handguns, but people are leaving weapons in the car, and the burglars are just walking up there and taking the gun from the car. That puts a weapon on the street. And that's a danger.
While investigators are stepping up to do their part, Shelton says solving this issue is going to take a community effort.
Parents, if you see your child's having a problem, if you see that your child has access to a weapon that is not theirs, come forward, take it from them, bring it to the police department. They will take any weapons that you find, no questions asked, bring it up here, drop it off so that we can get these guns off the streets.
We want to be proactive, so we're going to implement programs, community education, getting out there talking to our community, helping our community to make themselves safer, so we can eliminate some of these potential crimes of violence.
Now, to help residents properly lock up their guns, the police department has gun safety locks available. And again, Police Chief Fred Shelton says the public can assist with this initiative by reporting any illegal firearms to the police department. We're live in Columbus. Quentin Smith, WCBI News.
All right, Quentin, thanks so much. Meanwhile, Columbus police make a second arrest in connection with a weekend shooting that left a 14-year-old injured. 27-year-old Justin Dunlap was taken into custody Tuesday. Investigators believe he's the shooter. He's charged with aggravated assault. That shooting happened Saturday night after an argument between 2 people in the 1500 block of 7th Avenue South. A 14-year-old girl was hit in the ankle by a bullet. She's expected to be okay. Desi John Harris Jr. was arrested earlier this week. He's charged with felony accessory after the fact. Both men are in the Lowndes County Jail. A man in Louisville that police believe may be involved in drug activity with juveniles has been arrested. Police Chief Sean Holderness says 27-year-old Reginald Moore is charged with transfer of a controlled substance. Holderness says his department is investigating Moore's possible connection to an attack involving several juveniles that was recorded and then circulated on social media. Meanwhile, WCBI has obtained these photos. They are of Moore reportedly acting as a mentor and speaking to students at the alternative school in Louisville. Moore had an initial appearance in municipal court this afternoon. His bond was set at $10,000. Students head back to school next week. There are teachers already there. We take a look at how they're gearing up for the year when we come back. As students gear up for the start of the new school year, so do their teachers. The Winona-Montgomery Consolidated School District is holding a professional development conference for all of the teachers in the district. The teachers have the opportunity to work on skills they want to grow and to earn continuing education credit toward renewing their licenses. Over the past few years, the program has been a big help for the teachers.
I
had a teacher tell me this morning that she was able to get all of her CEU credits that she needed to be able to turn in her certificate to the State Department to renew her license right here for free without having to take off work to travel somewhere at her expense or his expense to attend a training outside of, Winona, outside of here.
Bridges says many of the trainers volunteered their time today.
Scattered showers and storms well across the region here on our Thursday afternoon. A lot of this is falling away, and for us locally, we do have a mainly clear night coming up, and lows should be in the upper 60s. Somewhat comfortable here. Your full forecast coming up.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Hard to believe that tomorrow is already Friday. We start out mostly sunny, 72 in the morning, by noon pushing 90, 92 the forecast high, mid-80s early tomorrow evening. Now there is a 20% chance for a pop-up shower or storm somewhere in the region, but much like today, most spots probably will not see it. If we do see any showers or storms, the higher odds will likely favor parts of West Alabama and areas south and east of Columbus. But a better chance for all of us as we get into your Saturday. A few scattered storms, 91. 87 Sunday, more numerous showers and storms are possible. Let's go to Louisville, Mississippi today. Look at those friendly clouds out there today. Not too shabby, warm, highs in the low 90s. But let's take a live view at Durham's Pharmacy in Vernon. We have a thunder shower here, and look at that downpour right there. We are looking to the south, and some pretty good rain in some localized locations here over in Vernon, down towards Hitoji, down into southeastern parts of Lamar County into southwestern Fayette County, and just a few cells that are now leaving Wcbi County, and that's really just about it. But there's a little outflow boundary. Look at that thing. That is actually marching back to the west towards Columbus, so we can't rule out yet another isolated shower or two in and around the Columbus area over the next hour or so. But now that we are getting closer and closer to sunset in another hour and a half or so, a lot of this will be going away, and that's just the nature of the beast this time of year. Upper 80s currently in most of our viewing area. The heat index still in the low to mid 90s. Here's Futurecast doing a pretty good job picking up on the isolated activity we do have right now. A lot of that goes away here after sunset or a little bit before. Tomorrow, again, the southeastern areas, if we're going to see a shower storm, higher odds to the south and east, lesser chances back to the northwest, but a more evenly distributed chance for a shower storm Saturday and also Sunday too. The higher odds will be Sunday, but not everyone is guaranteed a shower or storm here tomorrow, the weekend, or next week. Some of you may get multiple storms, but some spots may not even see a storm. So that's the spotty nature of the activity this time of year. Some get it, some don't. Upper 80s to low 90s in general for the next 7 days. Daily chances for rain, as you can see right there on the 7-day. Lows around 70.
August is finally here, and you know what that means. It's time to talk college football. Here outside Vaught-Hemingway Stadium, we'll have more with the Rebels coming up next in sports.
WCDI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
30 days away from the first Saturday of college football season. Ole Miss preparing for the Memphis Tigers for week 1, but there will be a lot of new faces and a lot of key spots for the Rebels, especially on offense. They'll have to worry about replacing guys like Jordan Ta'amu, A.J. Brown, D.K. Metcalf, Greg Little, all those guys off to extra endeavors, off in the NFL now. But now you have new guys in new places. Matt Corral at quarterback, ton of talented freshmen filling in key spots at the wide receiver and running back position, as well as the offensive line. I spoke with some of the guys today about what their expectations are for the 2019 season.
We're putting in the extra work, putting in the overtimes in the film room, just building that chemistry, off the field and on the field, especially. Getting timing of the routes, and I feel like if we're on the same page, I feel like we can be unstoppable.
So really, I think it comes down to us on the offensive line. I think, it's our job. We got to carry this team, and we got the talent everywhere else, so we got to bring it up front to make sure we can show off what they can do.
The ceiling is as high as we want it to go. Whatever we put a ceiling cap on ourselves is, the ceiling for us. So we can't allow ourselves to do that. So we just got to continue to get better each and every day.
Head coach Matt Luke saying today that senior offensive lineman Alex Givens undergoing a small procedure on his back. they do expect Givens and hope for Givens to be available for that week 1 matchup against Memphis. Also down south in Starkville, big news today for Mississippi State. Former Pontotoc Warrior and LSU offensive lineman Cole Smith to join the Bulldogs in 2020. He'll walk on this year and won't participate in game or eligibility for 2019. So a big addition on the offensive line for the Bulldogs as training camp begins coming up tomorrow for college football teams. But while we're talking about football, let's continue with the high school football tour. Up next on Academy Week, we check in with the Winona Christian Stars. The Stars are the 39th stop on the 60 and 60 tour.
WCBI's 60 Schools in 60 Days is brought to you by Sparklight.
Winona Christian enters the season with a new bunch that's eager to prove themselves. With a lack of depth, the Stars will depend on their physicality this season.
Team's extremely strong. Physically, it's going to be one of the stronger teams that I've fielded since I've been coaching. We don't have a lot of depth, but we're going to have to play a lot of old school Ironman football at times, and kids are going to ask to come off the field, and we're just going to look the other way, I guess.
We still got a little bit to work on. We're getting there, and we really have to step up during games and everything. With us being, limited players and stuff, we really have to push everybody and get them ready for the games.
The Stars graduated last year's starting quarterback, which means some new faces will be under center.
Anytime you have to play a young kid out there, you can expect good things to happen and bad things to happen. It's all going to be how he handles the bad. But we're going to play multiple people at quarterback. We're going to have a young one, and we're going to play an athlete and Dalton Wiggins at quarterback some. And so as far as it's going to give us a couple of different options at the quarterback position.
The team enters the season confident in how the young guys will perform in their new roles.
All the younger ones are just coming up, just now learning, and we're trying to show them this and that and this, and we're just trying to be the best leaders we can and go from there.
We got some big shoes to fill, and I think that the young guys stepping up and they can do it, and I think we're going to be real close this year. We've just been trying to hang out as groups, just outside of football and all that kind of stuff, just trying to get close, and so when we get out there on the field, we can be on a dime with everybody, just knowing what each other's trying to do.
Winona Christian welcomes some new teams in their division that makes for stiff competition, but the Stars relish in the opportunity.
Our division is going to be extremely tough, and likes of Indianola, Carroll, Central Holmes is going to be a special ball club. Benton's a solid, well-coached football team, so our division is going to be extremely tough.
We got to live up to expectation. We got to fill in the gaps. That's a big deal district for us. It gives us a high seed in the playoffs, and we're going to do what we can do to get those wins. Those are big deals to us.
Reporting in Winona on the high school football tour, Chris Bolton, WCBI Sports.
60 Schools in 60 Days with Winona Christian was brought to you by Bank of Kilmichael.
View at Durham's Pharmacy. Again, we have some downpours here in West Alabama, and there's a little bit of a boundary shifting back to the southwest, so we still may see a rogue shower or two, especially here from Lamar County into Columbus over the next hour or so, but really a minor type situation for us. Daily storm changes for the next 7 days, Andre. You know the drill here. It's still summer. Although kids are going back to school next week.
They are. A lot of the teachers in districts started today, and I think classes will start beginning Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
I remember those days.
Yes. It just never stops for us, though.
No. Constant work.
All right. Enjoy the rest of the evening, everyone.